Alright, I decided to take a break from building my main central mountain division route for open rails. So today I am going to operate as far as I feel like operating a B202 empty phosphate train from Birmingham, Alabama down to Mulberry, Florida. We'll see if this actually lines me up the right way, because I don't know as if Run 8 recognizes this symbol. It's kind of new. But it's a 5,000 foot train. There you go, this is the information I wanted. 3.7 horsepower per tons. Probably don't need. Well, I got one isolated. 3 locomotives, one's isolated. 2440 on the tonnage. 0 loads. 80 empties. 50-50 on the length. So we'll see what we can do. See how far we can go. As of right now, it's got me lined up as far as this. Should take me to Rice Pond, which if I get through this, be here. And I think it should. Oh, Callahan is where it should separate me, so maybe we'll get as far as Callahan. Nose is a little stuffy, springtime allergies. It's been kind of crazy up here with pine pollen. Plus I just mowed the lawn, so there's that situation. Anyway, kind of want that information up there still. Take a look at the train. Goes by here. Sneak it up here a little bit. Yeah, I got all information on there on the screen because I just haven't ran this in forever. Looks like we can finally pick up speed, so that's good. Yeah, we'll just get back to the cab. Yeah, I don't need to watch the whole thing. I don't know if that's an outbound train that's sitting there or not. I can't remember. Like I said, it's been a while. I haven't ran this side of things. Looks like I do have a clear signal, so that's good. I haven't ran this side of things for the region in a while. It's been since probably February, March, something like that. And I've been playing around on West Coast region. There's oh, I forget what it was. This is the most recent route they just released for it, updated part. So I've been messing around with that with loaded grain trains and whatnot, playing around with locals. I did have a local set up on this. I was running that. was gonna do one at a doctor town, but I never got that far. So I'll probably just do this for about an hour or so, just to change of pace. But yeah, that was back off the throttle here. So last time I was doing this, I was up on the Fitzgerald sub, and I just passed it. Let's see, brown sand. I think I was doing locals out of brown sand. Or maybe it was Fitzgerald itself. It might have been Fitzgerald itself. I don't quite 100% remember. But I know there's a couple local jobs out of that area that run south, run north. So I was playing around with those. Doing some customer work. Boy, some of those telegraph wire poles have gotten beaten, huh? Hate to pop this up again, but gotta get back to where I was looking at. I don't think we're gonna have any train meets. I keep hitting the wrong one. Alright. Alright, why don't we go up a little ways? Let's go up here. It's a nice clear little section right here. We can watch the train go by. Why not? Try to get that camera in a better spot. I do like how they mimicked a tree that was down and the maintenance barely cut it. That's actually pretty typical. So yeah, there's that full train right there. These phosphate trains are actually kind of fun to run anyways. I know there's one it goes over the Montana rail link. It goes up into Illinois onto the BNSF. And then cuts across. Goes on the Montana rail link and it continues through there. I want to say Pasco, Washington, I'm thinking. I could be wrong. But I believe it was phosphate for export. I guess I could be wrong on that. It's been a while. I forget the symbol of it from CSX, but on BNSF, Montana Rail Link, I think it was like GCSX. Jeez. I don't know. I have to look it up. Let's look it up real quick. I can't remember the name or the destination. That's the only problem. Let's see. It's not really loaded grain, but that's what the symbol was.
CSX equipment defect detector milepost 591.7.
Okay, that's what it was. Plymouth, Washington. It was CSX PWA 4. Out of Cicero, Illinois, I believe. I apologize if that's incorrect. To Plymouth, Washington. Phosphate loads, and on CSX it's actually B207 for that one. So I'd have to look up where B207 comes from. I want to say it's Mulberry, Florida as well, but I could be wrong. But for open rails, train simulator, I did an activity. I designed an activity for the Montana rail link route from train simulations. It was the CSX PWA. Basically, it's like 3 CSX locomotives and I believe either 70 or 80 loads.
Equipment defect detector milepost 591.7. No defect. Total axle 338. End of transmission.
It required rear end helpers out of Helena, so it was pretty cool. It was kind of challenging. So it's actually kind of fun, like running that train back from Washington, PWA, CSX to Illinois. It's pretty good to like bring the empties back onto this through, I believe, the Fitzgerald sub, all the way back down towards Baldwin on this line. I want to look it up. I'm pretty positive it's it still goes to Mulberry. Yeah, Mulberry, Florida for B207, which goes to... Actually, it says phosphate loads via Evansville, Indiana, and Birmingham, Alabama. So, it could go either way. It could go towards Birmingham, could go towards Evansville, by the looks of it. So, either way, Fitzgerald sub, I do believe. Because I don't think it goes across to Tallahassee anymore. CSX gave that up. I guess anything going in that region would go up the Fitzgerald, I believe it was. Someone, I don't know where I got that from. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was Danny Harmon, Mr. Distant Signal on YouTube, or if it was Spur Gaming on YouTube. I don't know. It was one of those two. I think I heard that information from. I want to say Danny Harmon because he's like pretty informative of these lines down here in Florida, which I appreciate. It's kind of where I get a lot of my ideas and train runs for on this line is Danny Harmon, Distant Signal. I'll pop him on in my description on YouTube. Check it out. I would have live streamed this, but I don't see a point in live streaming if I'm only going to do this for an hour. Okay, clear signal South Berganza. BNSF. I don't know the symbol. Number 4604 out. Oh, it's right there too. Excuse me. Normally I don't do a whole lot for Run 8 either. I mostly do a lot of open rails. But Run 8 is pretty fun. Where I can just drop in the train and go. I don't have to sit there and set up everything. I don't know if I was supposed to blow for that. As far as I know, I didn't see a whistle sign. Unless that's it there for going the opposite way, but I did not see one coming this way. So, anyway, yeah, I don't have to like sit there and build everything up from the ground up. Most of this now with version 3 of Run 8, they have train spawning on their own, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool in my opinion. Auto dispatcher, you know, all that. It's pretty fun. So it looks like I'm actually gonna take that there onto the Netland Dutch A1. That's what I get for not paying attention. Alright, there's a whistle post there. It must have been tucked in, I just didn't see it. Fort Mudge. Interesting name. I kind of wish there was a little bit more northeast routes for Run 8 besides the Mohawk and Schenectady, which I honestly should download those, purchase those. Well, I'd like to see something like the Mountain Sub, or like the Cumberland, Maryland, or more branch offs of the Selkirk route, where you could go down towards, New York, or Bronx, New York, or Albany, or Ayer, Massachusetts. Trying to think. Like if you did for Selkirk, you could also expand from like Rotterdam Junction onto what's known as the B&E now, which is I guess what they call the Patriot Corridor between Rotterdam Junction and Ayer, Massachusetts, through East Deerfield. I'd like to see something like that, or even like Selkirk down into Ayer, Massachusetts through the B&A. I think that'd be kind of neat too. But it's all wishful thinking. I get Run 8, it's a small group of guys, and they're pretty busy with other things. I do believe Jason, I think it was Jason, just announced that he stepped away from Run 8, which was the designer of these routes here. Disappointing to see him leave, but I get it. I mean, route building does take time, and I imagine it takes time in this too. Like, it's taken me... Originally I started the Mountain Division 20 years ago. That was the first version. I scrapped that. One of the guys from Train Simulations, he actually provided me a whole new layout to work with. Way better terrain details than what I used to have. So I've been progressing with that, but even with that, that's been like, I want to say 5-10 years. And I've only gotten as far as Fabian, New Hampshire, so I've gotten 90-ish miles out of 131. Alright, where does auto show me? A1, I'm not sure. Oh, A1 right there. Duh. So on the Folkestone to go as far as Callahan. I'm gonna try to get as far as Callahan. We'll see what that does. We'll see if it even lines me up. Get there in another half hour, we'll see. Pretty good grade through here. Well, that's the thing with the Mountain Division too, the main Central Mountain Division. There's pretty good grade up in the Crawfords, New Hampshire. I actually just started, I laid out the track to Fabian last night, and that's a 1.61% downgrade. I want to say for 5 miles. That's tough. That's actually a tough grade as well, heading back up. Granted, the eastbounds weren't as heavy as the westbounds, so they didn't require helpers, but it's a pretty stiff grade. Curves aren't as steep. They do mellow out a little bit, but once you get on the straights, they're pretty hefty for a grade. It's like that all the way to Twin Mountain, and then Twin Mountain kind of, I wouldn't say flattens out, but it's not as steep getting towards St. Johnsbury. Of course, Twin Mountain to just Sawyer's River's all 25 miles per hour. At least back then, back in the 80s, 70s I should say. Most of that line's 35 mile per hour track, or at least it was back then. That's nice. It is. Once I get all the scenery filled out, it'll look nice. The toughest parts are going to be the towns, the bigger towns like Portland, Maine, St. Johnsbury, Vermont. Even the East St. Johnsbury, Vermont's kind of big. Whitefield, New Hampshire, I mean the downtown at least is kind of large for a town. Lots of buildings, lots of streets. filling in that stuff is kind of where it's a pain for root building. BNSF 4604 has clear signal at southbound intermediate mile 610.7. Already up, coming up to the Hague defect detector. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. I'm not used to those. Meanwhile, I can say Madawamkag with no issue. So, that doesn't quite put me oh, okay, I'm still far away. Okay, I thought I was a lot closer than that. Thought Hague was close to the Callahan. I think we might only get as far as Folkestone on this this video, which is what it is. Like I said, it's just a little break. Maybe I'll do more of it tomorrow. $65 miles per hour. Good goodness. So no defects. Perfect. Maybe tomorrow I can live stream this. The finish of it at least. Most of the railroad company I worked for had GE locomotives. Don't get me wrong, I like EMD, but I'm starting to like GEs a lot better. I worked with them a couple times. We had CP run-through power, and those were mostly the GE AC 44s and ES 44s. And those were actually pretty good. 2 of those hauled a 10,000 foot train, no problem. I mean, we got down to maybe 10 miles per hour, 13 miles per hour actually, and they dug right in. They pulled. Meanwhile, we got 3 EMD SD70 M-2s, and with 3 of those hauling 10,000 feet worth of train, they struggle. Even like on dry rail, they struggle. Wet rail, forget about it. You're gonna really struggle. Those things hate anything but dry rail. Most of the time, you just gotta have patience running those things. So as long as the computer system and all that behaves, I guess. I don't know what that is. It's approach limited. Ah. I haven't seen that one before. I've seen solid red with a flashing green, which is slow clear, but I can't even remember what limited speed is. I guess I got CSX signal aspects. Limited speed's 45. Okay, so I was doing alright. I haven't ran these. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this. So I don't quite remember my signal aspects either. Don't quite understand why my computer is being janky with that. Seems like it struggles to, I don't even know. Frame rates lock up every now and then, it's a bit weird. Now this is limited clear. BNSF 4604. Limited clear signal ANA 617.5. I've had a signal indication where that's a medium clear. I've never had it flashing green, but I have had it solid green for medium clear, for medium speed through a switch. But that was the old Boston and Maine speed signals. I guess that's what they call them. Under NORAC. Obviously, I think CSX is NORAC too, but now we have a approach limited. BNSF 4604 approach limited Homeland 619.4 B202 out. I honestly feel like that's a lot sometimes, but I get it. I work on OCS clearances, and usually the only thing we call out is mile boards for the sidings. Like for example, we got Kirby, so we'd call it out as EMR 120 mile board Kirby. That's basically it. We don't usually do a whole lot calling out stuff like that anyways. At night there's only 2 trains out, 120 and 121. During the day it's usually the 909 by itself, 910 by itself. Occasionally you'll get the 907 or 908. And majority of the time the maintenance workers, they all know where you're at. They usually call you and let you through their section anyways. So you don't usually have to call them. But we do haul a lot of freight. And we got another limited clear. BNSF 4604 out. There we are, Folkestone, Georgia. Sweet deal. Did you see all those rail fans at the train watching platform? It's pretty cool. We don't have any of that up here in Maine. We just got people hanging out at crossings. Unless you're southern Maine, then you can hang out at the Amtrak platforms, watch trains there. But majority of the time, you're hanging out at the crossing. Not that I don't even do that. I just look out my front window. I got train tracks across the street from me. I didn't see him today because I was busy, but usually 5 days a week, I watch them go by. Usually a long train by me going one way, another long train going back the other way. Alright, so we got out of Folkestone here. Let's see, it's got us aligned as far as that goes. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to. And then South Hillard, Callahan does not look like it's going to put us on Callahan. It's going to send us to Jacksonville. I guess in a way you could go via Jacksonville, but I think you'd be going through Baldwin instead. I could be wrong. It's got a clear signal, BNSF 4604. Clear signal, St. Mary's, southbound, B202-27. I guess it could go through Lakeland, Orlando too. Yeah, St. Mary's River. Entering Florida. But the only reason why I feel like it wouldn't go Jacksonville, unless it goes, I don't really know my lines for CSX down that way. I feel like that's Florida East Coast. Jacksonville down to Orlando. Yeah, I guess they could go with Jacksonville down towards Sanford, Deland, Sanford, Orlando. Looks like they have trackage rights. Could be wrong. And then Lakeland towards Tampa. But I feel like Baldwin down into Ocala would be the route for it. I don't 100% know. Maybe I'll just listen to Otto and just go to Jacksonville. Maybe I'll just bring this up to Callahan. And for the next time, if someone has proper information of where this train is routed, I'll take that route. It's a good little grade through here. Let's see, where's it got us now? Just coming up to that. Yeah, I'd say it's gonna send us to Jacksonville, so maybe I'll get us to Callahan. And we'll call it there. Then maybe for the next video once I get it figured out, if it diverges and goes via Baldwin, or if it goes via Jackson, I'll continue it from there. BNSF 4604, clear signal, mile A608.5 southbound, B202 out. Yeah, so roughly 15 more miles to get to at least Callahan, so I know I said I was going to do it for an hour, but if I got 15 more miles, I'm at 50 minutes of my recording. I'm limited to 2 hours, so if it goes a little bit longer, not a big deal. Of course, I could have done the whole thing, but I've done so much on the Fitzgerald sub, I need a break from that too. That'd be kind of cool is to get the map for, I'm assuming this is PTC. So that'd be kind of cool, get the map set up, click your buttons here. All that good stuff. Florida certainly is not flat. It's definitely got some good rolling hills. In the meantime, so you'll probably see more videos from me. I got Wednesdays and Thursdays off again. I'm back on the spare board. There are chances some weekends I might also do some recordings. May do some live streams. Depends on if I play the Xbox or play on the PC. Our job cycle just started. I want to say this is the third week, going on third week. Beginning of May is when we started, I do believe. And we got basically 2 more months. And then we go and bid again. So probably August is. But I don't see myself coming off spare board. At least
CSX equipment defect detector milepost 610.6 track 1.
at least for the summer, I don't see myself coming off spare board. I'm at the bottom of the engineer roster, so I get what's basically available. So at the moment, I'm spare board. If we go back to having utility jobs for the 2 jobs we did this past winter, there is a good chance I'll probably get bounced back on that. BNSF 4604, clear signal. Andrews southbound, B202 out. But if that does, then chances are I'll probably get back on that as like a utility. Not by choice. It's kind of where I was at last time. Not by choice. It kind of sucks being bottom of the totem pole. I kind of wish I stuck it out as conductor. Especially because, you know, I'm just going to be conductor anyways for that job. But at least as conductor,
Detector milepost 610.6 track 1. No defect. Total axle 338. End of transmission.
no defects again, perfect. At least if I stuck it out as conductor, I would have been 4th in line. So I would have been able to stay right on the job I wanted to stay on, which was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday overnight job. But I came to this company as an engineer, so I wanted to get my engineer's card again. I wanted to keep that rolling. And the pay doesn't hurt. The pay is good. I mean, obviously, sitting spare board, I'm basically collecting the same amount as I was as a conductor. Only because, only because I'm not doing those overnight jobs. When I was doing the overnight, we'd get bunk time. So it was additional like $100 a week as conductor. And so basically as engineer, that's kind of what I'm collecting now, is that extra 100, but as engineer pay. If I get a chance to cover some overnight jobs this summer, I could probably get that $100 a week, but I don't see that happening either. So it's fine. It's just tough it out. I'm waiting for the next group of folks to retire, and hopefully that opens up some opportunity. But I can't complain. I mean, this is honestly the best paying job I've had in my lifetime, so. BNSF 4604, clear signal southbound, Hillard. B202-27. I believe the next one is Callahan. Okay, so yeah, we'll go as far as Callahan. Yeah, oh yeah, she's got me lined right up to Jackman. Or not Jackman, Jacksonville. So I'll stop this at Callahan. I'll save it. And then we'll go from there. Like I said, we'll figure out which routing this train takes, and we will do that routing. I believe if it's to Baldwin, it's not a long trip. If it's to Jacksonville, it's a little longer. I could be wrong. I haven't really operated trains down this direction. I know I started out of Jacksonville once, going north. But I don't think I ever started anything out of Baldwin or headed south. Heading north out of Jackson. I keep saying Jackson. Jacksonville. Heading north out of Jacksonville, I don't think I went very far. I think I went maybe about an hour's worth out of Jacksonville, heading north. I don't know where that would have put me, but spawning Q188 at South Baldwin, Main 1. Nice. Now if I went towards Baldwin, we'd have a train meet, probably. I'm surprised it hasn't spawned anything in Jacksonville yet. So I wonder how many times in this video I've said Jackson instead of Jacksonville. Just a thought. BNSF 4604, clear signal, southbound, South Hilliard, B202 out. Oh yeah, I probably have to announce track 1, don't I? Southbound, track 1, I guess. So I imagine track 2 is, or main 2 is northbound. Or maybe I just don't know. I'm not afraid to learn new things. Must be getting okay. What are we? We're getting kind of close. I feel like this next signal might be it. No, we got probably 2 intermediate signals, I believe. I don't know. What does this say for a milepost? 618. So 6 more miles. Right? 6 more miles? Yeah. Alright, so I'll just keep an eye out for those. It's a good thing these are empties though, because they're not pushing me as hard as I figured they would down this hill. Loads would shove me, that's for sure. Okay, 5 more miles, so that must be 619. Yep. Okay, BNSF 4604, clear signal, track 1 south, Dial Hill. B202 out. Okay, BNSF 4604. Approach signal. Track 1, southbound, Little Mills Creek. B202 out. It's interesting it's giving me a approach signal. I thought we were going straight. I guess it would be a junction, wouldn't it? So that's good. We can actually treat this next signal as a stop signal. Although I don't know why I would. Oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. No, I probably could. As if like a train was coming off the Baldwin sub. Anyways, I'll wrap this up while I get this train slowed down. Chances are I'll save this as like an additional. No, I'll just save this, and then probably pick up where we left off. Maybe. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Until next time.